Hey guys, I'm back with another market update video, and the thing in everyone's mind is probably prismatic evolutions, so I'll start with that. For those of you who don't know, there was a confirmed reprint yesterday that was announced. Pokemon sent out an official message that looks something like this. I put a video late last night because I got the news a little late, and I'm just going to go over the market impact of that, and it's not as bad as I thought it'd be, or it could have been, I think, and I want to go through the reasons why it seems to be like that. But yeah, it says that they're going to be printing more, but it's sort of a you don't really know what that means. But yeah, we'll see how this actually goes. But some people think that this won't really affect the market for a few months in a sense. It affects the market now because markets are emotional, and people will sell because they think of news. People will buy because they think of news. This happens to the stock market all the time. Pokemon's a little different in some ways because it's physical products. But yeah, this is affecting the market right now. I'm just gonna say how it's affecting it. So the biggest change was Prismatic Etbs. Everything else didn't change as much. I'll go over that later. If you just want the quick price differences, I can show you that. But yeah, Prismatic is over here, and I'll just go over the differences in prices. I'll put that there. This one doesn't count because it's a new product, but yeah, the main difference was the Prismatic ETB, the PC ETB, which is already that's kind of its own thing, which and then the text stickers, but everything else has stayed about the same. So that's kind of the overview of that, which I'm glad. I've been tracking numbers because I wouldn't have known that offhand. So I think that the Prismatic ETB dropped like kind of the most because it's kind of triple MSRP, or it was triple MSRP at about 150, versus the other products, a lot of them were kind of double MSRP, so they just kind of remain the same, and it was like rarer stuff and whatnot. But yeah, yesterday what I saw was, when I saw a video that someone posted, a Pokeani actually, I just saw a bunch of I saw it was like about 125. This was around like 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's when or 7 p.m. That's when I decided to make a quick video on it, because I was like, oh, how did I miss that? But yeah, it was suddenly you see a bunch of 125s. But then even with the 125s, there was some 130s, 135s in there. But yeah, this is kind of where it shifted. So you see 147, 146 kind of normal price, and all of a sudden it drops down to 140, and someone gets to 125, and you get a bunch of 130s. But then you get I think some people didn't know, so they just bought the normal price. So, or people were just offloading stock, and then yeah, more stock was offloaded for 120s. But then you get so it still was selling at some of its normal prices. And then finally people decided it's kind of at the 130ish range. It's kind of where it is right now. There's still some people selling at 120s, 125, but it's about 125 to 135 is kind of the range right now. So the exact price right now, it's about 135. And yeah, I think that what's happening is, I told people in my video yesterday, be aware of immediate market scares. Sometimes it's good to act on them. I'll say because every time, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes. But anyway, but I've seen this before where with some big market news, if the news is kind of a little overdone, then there'll be a large drop in a sense, but in the sense of it'll drop and it'll recover, at least to some extent. I think that's kind of what we're seeing. So the price only went down about $10, which is kind of nice, $10-15. And other things, yeah, the PCTB was already kind of expensive. It was at around $400. The PCTB is already really expensive. And in a sense it didn't drop that much because it's already quite MSRP is $60, so it's a good amount of that. So it didn't drop that much percentage, and that's partly because the PCTB is even if they reprint, I guess they could reprint the PCTBs, but I guess people aren't sure. So this just goes that's market sentiment, and I guess emotions analytics. There are a set amount of ETBs and supplies and whatever out there, and then there's people's perceptions of that, and that shapes the market price. So yeah, people didn't really fire sell their ETPs as much, but I guess I could double check that. Yeah, there's still mostly sales in the like 380 to 400. That's still really not that bad. I saw one for like 200 or 300. I wonder if they're shipping on that. But yeah, and then the text stickers, they drop. They've been kind of stagnant for the last few days, so I guess that's not surprising. But yeah, there's like a 5 to whatever drop. And then so the cheapest thing per pack is now the text stickers again, but I don't think that that's as sustainable. Another reason for the drop, it could also be because I saw some photos of people actually getting Prismatic in stores. I saw a bunch of the text stickers, and so it might be just more common in stores and easier to get versus like some of these other items. Like you're not gonna get, it's probably harder to get. Well, definitely surprise boxes aren't even out yet, but tins might not be out yet. I don't remember the exact release dates, but I guess like the text stickers are usually a little more common. In general, like they're worth less because the average person does kind of want them, and they kind of make more of them. So, but yeah, I expect like I kind of want to see how it goes. But yeah, for price per pack, like the price per pack went down to $16. So for about $13, that's really low. That's a pretty big difference. In a normal market, that might make more sense. But in a prismatic market where packs are going to get eaten up because Pokemon didn't actually increase the supply. Like what we have right now are the effects of like we have perceived future supply. So people think that there's more supply, but Pokemon didn't actually print any more at the moment. So there's actually not more supply, but it did release. So people are getting their orders in from pre-orders, and people are getting like going to Walmart or Target or whatever, and they're getting it. So there is like an increase of available supply in a sense. So that's why I want to see what happens like during this week or how as it cools down, because like scalpers or whoever, like even normal people, they're just gonna buy out the stores, supplies to get distributed, and then people are still gonna want the packs, and then what? Then the stores aren't gonna have it. I know we're back. It's like how hard is it to get searching sparks right now? Like there's gonna be periodic reprints, but you don't just expect to get it. Versus like Prismatic is probably technically more available in stores right now because they're stocking the shelves with fresh products pretty much everywhere. Any other comments on Prismatic? Yeah, like PCTBs, text stickers. They did add this. This isn't like new news in terms of like this product, but they did add this. It does release in February, which is a little later. But yeah, I remember this. People really wanted this, and it sold out like instantly. Like I wasn't able to get any of this at all, unless you pay the aftermarket price. But it's finally listed on TCG Player. I don't know if it's listed on eBay, but so I'm just gonna start tracking it. The price per pack is like $17, which is pretty high. But since it's more of a the text stickers are more of an open sort of thing. This is more of a postal like investment thing, postal open thing. Like people want the EV, like people might actually want the EV promo, because it's just rarer. So there's some scarcity things at play. It's interesting because 2-pack blisters usually aren't that popular, but it's EV and whatever. And yeah, so that's it for Prismatic. Okay, so what else do I have? I think 151 had some interesting things, and Sea and Sky also. So let's go 151. I noticed for one, so I didn't really see that many price differences for 151. Let's just go 151 real quick. So the main thing was the poster. Okay, yeah, I didn't really see that many price differences. But I did notice that there's like this little decrease in demand over here, which is a little interesting. Like UPC demand was pretty consistent-ish. Like it would be usually at least 40 sold every few days. Sometimes it was a little higher. Now we're seeing the sudden decline to 13. So I'm seeing less sales, and I'm seeing kind of the same thing in the PC TPs actually, which I mentioned in previous videos. Like Blooming Waters is gonna kind of dilute the market a little bit. But these things that aren't gonna get reprinted, like, or more likely not gonna be as reprinted. Like I did see UPCs available at Target. Some people actually picked them up for like $100. But otherwise, like, they're just not gonna be as widely available. And so, like, I do see, like, I don't think anyone, yeah, there hasn't been a sale of PCTBs on TCG Player on the 14th to 15th, so yesterday and the day before. So there's versus like there was more consistent like buying in a sense for such an expensive item, like relative to the fact that it's like a $400 item. You don't expect, like, if it's really huge, like hundreds of ETBs or 50s, like that's pretty insane for something that expensive. But yeah, I am seeing a sort of decline, so that's interesting. Yeah, I was thinking if you had 151, you might want to keep these things. But yeah, I guess the price is kind of getting kind of high, and I think the hype might be just slowing down a little bit around these items. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But they're definitely not items you usually open just for packs. Like you would open the PCTB for a grading play usually, or if you just really want the Pokemon Center stamp card to collect, and the UPC you'd open only to get those other promos, but otherwise you wouldn't just open them for packs. But yeah, otherwise the other thing was like the poster collection just went up a little bit. It's really slight. Usually I don't always report these sort of things, but like I do like to look. Like it's been kind of stuck at like 32 for like a while. Like it was 31, 32, so it's nice to just see at 34. It brings the price per pack up to back here, which makes it like quite a bit more than the loose pack price, because pretty much people have been valuing at about the loose pack price or worse. Like people really don't like the poster collections, and now it's starting to get kind of more of the respect it deserves, I guess. It just doesn't really make full sense of why it's so undervalued, since the pack price is still really high. And then next, Sea and Sky, like, so Crown Zenith, the prices are still about the same. I'll go Crown Zenith. But the big thing was Sea and Sky. So Sea and Sky, so I've been telling you guys, like, I've been seeing this Poke Trainer Vault. This listing just stuck there, so I don't really count it. Also the quantity is going pretty low. There's only 9 listings. Yeah, so it seems like the supply of Sea and Sky is kind of decreasing, and I feel like I didn't really think of this until now, but we might be at the point where, like, since supply is kind of drying up, where the prices are going up kind of disproportionately right now. Like if you see this, like Sea and Sky, if I put it as 100, usually it was about the same price. You see the pack, it's like 6.7, 6.9, 6.7, 6.9. This one was a little higher. This was about this, like, you know, like it's about like 20 to 40 cents difference, but this is, I guess this is still about like 30 cents. It's just like if I cross the $7 mark, so I guess that's why I'm seeing it. But the thing is, like, Sea and Skies haven't usually been valued as much. Like people like the value, but people don't really like the product itself in a sense. They just, like, you know, you get excited opening a lot of packs, but it's like going to the buffet, you're excited with a lot of food. But like a lot of buffets, they don't really have like great food. Maybe that's not the best analogy, but yeah, Sea and Sky is finally starting to, like, if I look at the sales data, I'm finally starting to see like $100 sales, which is pretty amazing. And I guess there was some before, but like I felt like this would be the normal market, so this was like about a week ago, where it's like, you know, I'll give you 90, 80, 70, whatever. And now we're starting to see more consistent like 90 to hundreds, which is kind of nice to see. Like, and like actual like hundreds recently. So yeah, especially over here, like you see like these hundreds versus these are like 90s. And this one's like barely like 96. But yeah, it does kind of seem like there's a shift, because honestly, if the Sea and Sky didn't exist, like what else would there be? Like you could buy loose packs, or this. But if Sea and Sky gets so scarce because everyone's opening them, and it becomes a more high value product, and it gets closer to the bundle needs to be just because the supply is so low, then we're gonna see pack prices rise even more. And we've seen Crown Zenith do like really well in the past. Okay. Evolving Skies, I just want to mention Evolving Skies is still kind of doing well. Like it's not all the Sword and Shield boxes, so I'll scroll up into that. There hasn't been like much change, except for, I'm going to talk about this and this maybe a little bit, but there hasn't been much change. Scarlet and Violet, there hasn't been much change. But yeah, Evolving Skies, it's been at this 1500 mark, and people are still kind of buying. Like just the, oh, this isn't really a good view. You want this, so like, you know, just yesterday people are still buying at these prices. The day before, if someone bought 5, Like we're still seeing comfortably, people are still buying every day at this $1,500 price. Chilling Reign has been kind of declining. I haven't been reporting like subtle increases, decreases, or increases as much. But if I just look at the data over time, it's like I see like 380, and then I'm like, okay, 377, 370, 360, now it's like close to 350. So it's like a more clear versus like, depending on what time I get the listing, it could be higher or lower. But this is more of a clear lower trend. So Chilling Reign's kind of going down a little bit. Darkness Ablaze has finally reached the point where it's like 195 again. It finally reached that 208 price. It's been stagnant, and then now it's probably breaking stagnation. So these are just things I've noticed with those prices. It's kind of hard to see without the data. The graphs sometimes show it, but it can be a little hard to see. Okay, what else is that? I think the last thing might be Journeys Together. Just double checking. Yeah. So Journeys Together. It still kind of baffles me how undervalued the booster boxes are and how overvalued other things are. So like the big thing I want to talk about is like ETBs. I'm seeing them selling for like 120, like normal ETBs, not Pokemon Center ETBs. Where like this one, this is a normal Pokemon Center. This is a normal ETB for 120. This is another normal ETB for 120, and these are confirmed sales. There's not a ton of confirmed sales for yesterday, but it's like that's like the biggest change. This thing over here, because now the price per pack is like even more. It's like $13 a pack versus the booster box is still about $5 to $6 a pack. So it's still like double the price of the booster box. I don't really get. We don't even know what the promo is. Like I get the feeling some of it is just people thinking it's the Pokemon Center ETB, and they don't really know. But like PTVs, ETBs aren't really great products. Like usually they do cost more per pack than the booster box, but like there's no one really telling you that like the ETBs of things are like the next big investment. Like no, it's the PC ETBs of the booster boxes, not the normal ETBs. I've been telling you guys like I expect the price per pack to get closer over time, but it's just like kind of crazy. Like booster boxes are still around 230, 240. Like I saw 185 sales the other day, but it seemed more like an outlier. Bundles are still like 60, but it's just like look how much higher like you're paying for price per pack. Like I don't, why would people want to like buy this like this? It just doesn't make sense to me. The only way this makes sense is just like the low numbers to high numbers. Like people like the piece like ETBs, maybe they'll have an amazing promo card, or they think it's the PC ETB, and the bundles are just so cheap that they're like, oh yeah, but it's normally $30, $60 makes sense. But you do the calculations, like it's just that's outrageously different in price. It really is. Not even Prismatic has price differences that big for like these sort of products, because these aren't specialty products or anything. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thanks guys, bye.